Well, I did a video already on this topic, and Facebook. I never know when I'm going to do it's going to last or not, but I'm doing it again. There's two grievous evils that Solomon sees here. You know, recently in the news, this young Ivy League graduate shot a insurance CEO in the back, killed him, murdered him, and went running. Then everybody was hunting for him. They finally caught him, and come to find out, he killed this guy because he sees all this injustice. So he saw himself as a crusader, and he felt the need to kill him. Well, people, listen. Solomon saw that from the beginning. There's going to be injustice in the world. There always has been, and there always will be. Fallen man is corrupt. Let me read to you just a little bit here on Ecclesiastes. See what he has to say about it. He says, if you see the poor oppressed in a district, and justice and rights denied, do not be surprised at such things. It's going to happen. Then he tells the reason why. He says, do not be a surprise for such things, for one official is eyed by a higher one, and over them both others are higher still. The increase from the land is taken by all, the king profits from the field. What is he saying? He says, you know, this injustice that's taking place, people profiting from it. That's a trickle-down effect, or triple up. They're profiting from it. It's called corruption and injustice. We're constantly reading in the news about people that have been caught by taking bribes or taking kickbacks and doing things that are illegal, yet profits their pockets. Or they may take advantage of the system by their position or their security clearance. It goes all the time. So Solomon says, hey, don't be surprised by this. You know, I was thinking, it's a very dangerous thing to do. I was thinking to myself, you know, I spent Thanksgiving alone. And I'm going to spend Christmas alone. And I was thinking about some of the injustice of that. And you know, whenever I'm feeling a sense of injustice, I begin to get a little reflection. And I got to thinking about Adam and Eve in the garden, who God created to walk with him. Instead, they walked out on him. And God was alone in the garden. If you're alone, if you were alone at Thanksgiving, are you going to be alone at Christmas? You know, don't feel bad about the injustice of that. You're in good company. You can understand what God went through. And it didn't end there. God created himself, his own people, for himself, the Hebrews, and they walked out on him again and again and again. And he did everything possible to bring them back. He even had Hosea go and marry a prostitute. So that could be an image of what they were doing to him. You're aligning yourself with other people who have other gods. Why would you do that to me? The injustice of it all. Injustice is not just relational, it's political, and it's also monetarily. He goes on to say this: whoever loves money never has money enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with his income. This too is meaningless. If you've ever been around very wealthy people, they never have enough. And whatever they have, they're worried that somebody's going to take it from them. You know, so they don't get good sleep. And he goes on to say that, as good increase, so do those who consume them. And what benefit are they to the owner except to feast his eye on them? The sleep of a laborer is sweet, whether he eats little or much, but the abundance of a rich man permits him no sleep. He doesn't get any rest. He has so much stuff, so many things, so many concerns caught up in this world. He has no peace and joy. And I know the most wealthiest people I know hate Christmas because they feel obligated to have to give something of their mass wealth. I've been in ministry a long time, and I've found that the most given people are people that hardly have anything at all because they know what it's like to be without. They know what it's like to be alone. They know what it's like to be walked out on. They know what it's like to be in need. And they are the greatest people that will stand by you in your time of need. God is still being walked out on. Church is walking out on him today. It's called apostasy. Walking away from the faith. Oh yeah, they act religious and they say a lot of religious cliches and they do their praise bands and all that, but they're not spiritual. Jesus says there come a time when people will worship me, listen to this, in spirit and in truth. Not in a mega church. Not jumping up and down, acting like fools. But maybe even in your solitary, single presence of yourself, all alone in your home, when you can do a couple of things that are really pleasing to God. Let me give you 3 of them. 1, to be content with what you have. Second of all, to thank God for what you have. Elizabeth Elliot, one of my favorite woman mentors, said this: if you don't have it now, you don't need it now. For God promised to provide you all your needs. Contentness, thankfulness, and faith. Walking in faith, trusting God. God said, this is the work that I have for you. People know, what is the will of God for my life? And God says, this is the work that I have for you, that you believe on the one that I sent. And that's the Lord Jesus Christ with all his admonitions and words and precept and counsel. I've seen another grievous evil under the sun, Solomon says. Wealth hoarded to the harm of its owner. I've been in... They have more stuff than they can even use. In fact, they're looking for room to put more stuff in. You read about the rich man in the New Testament. He'd made all kind of money, so he decided, I'm going to build me another barn so I can put more stuff in. And God says, thou fool, little do you know that this day your life will be required of you. The reason God gives you things is so that you can share those things in the life of other people and to recognize that those things are not yours. They're just on loan to you so that you can use them to promote his kingdom, contribute to his ministry, and help people in need. That's why. Not to be used for your own selfish indulgence. And so Solomon is seeing this grievous evil under the sun that's continuous. I want. That is the matrix of the leech. They never have enough. I've seen another grievous under wealth hoarded to the harm of its owner, or wealth lost through some misfortune, so that when he has a son, there is nothing left for him. Naked a man comes from his mother's womb, and as he comes, so he departs. He takes nothing from his labor, so that he can carry in his hand. This too is a grievous evil. A man comes, so he departs. And what does he gain, since he toils for the wind? All his days he eats in darkness, and with great frustration, affliction, and anger. Have peace and joy. I got a 500 square foot apartment here. You are in my kitchen, my dining room, my living room, my place of study, and I have a little bed right around the corner. And I'm content. I don't have any bills. I have no debt. I have enough to get me by just month by month by month. But I'm satisfied. I'm happy. I'm joyful. I don't go to bed at night thinking, gee, I'm going to pay this bill. I think about, God, how can I best be used for you? With what gifts and talents that I have? How can I glorify you? So remember, Solomon is looking at life through the mindset and worldview of people that do not know the Lord Jesus Christ. And he says it's utterly meaningless. It's a waste of time. It's a chasing after the wind, and you're never going to catch it. And even if you could catch it, you wouldn't be satisfied with it. Ecclesiastes, we still got about 5 more chapters to go. It's coming to a climax where he's going to tell you, okay, here is the real purpose of life. I already know what it is. Well, you got to stay with me to the end if you want to know what it is as well. Listen, don't get caught up in this world and this life and with material things and seeing injustice and all that. Feel you have to be a crusader. God will take care of it. You look to him. He'll provide for you. God bless you all. Have a great day.